Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Glassboro on the campus of Rowan University for this finale of the Battle at the Beach as Glassboro gets set to take on Haddonfield in the tournament finale. Mike Franco alongside Mark Narducci. Highly anticipated game. It's been a great day. A lot of good matchups, but this is the one that most fans circled coming into the day, Mark. Glassboro, of course, a defending state champion. Haddonfield, a perennial powerhouse. And what a way to start the season as these two teams go head-to-head. If you had to make a prediction, Bulldogs versus Bulldogs.
Well, I think the Bulldogs will win.
There you go, right?
Mike, I think the key to this whole game is going to be Glassboro is, people see the Xavier Saab and his brother Amari, and they see what great skill players. Glassboro can punish people in the trenches and everything. But the whole key is going to be Haddonfield trying to limit the big plays. This is as big a big play team as you're going to see in the state of New Jersey. If Haddonfield can do that, then they will be competitive. And keep in mind, Mike, these are both two rosters that have a lot of people back from successful teams. Haddonfield off a 7-4 season, but has just about everybody back.
Glassboro certainly has some tradition as you go back, but, in terms of coaching staffs and, the kind of the new guy on the block, Timmy Breaker now starting his third season, ton of success in his first two. And then you have Frank Delano, who's really one of the veterans in South Jersey, now starting his 24th season. But it's always exciting watching both of these teams. Haddonfield just seems to be so effective in running their schemes. And you mentioned it, some of the big splash plays that we've gotten accustomed to from Glassboro over the last season or two as well. Should be a good one. Getting set for the national anthem now, so Mark and I will pause for that, and then we'll be back to get you started for Haddonfield versus Glassboro.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Just about set for kickoff here on the campus of Rowan University. A beautiful night for football. The weather has been outstanding all day long. Talked about a few players off at the top there. Some players to watch for Haddonfield, Mark. Van Lefakis entering his another season as starting quarterback. Plenty of experience. A couple other guys, Mike Keenan and Hutch Ryan. But Lefakis, so important to have that veteran presence at quarterback, and that's a guy that saw a lot of time at that position a year ago.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And I think Lefakis is his decision-making is going to be key. And as much as he's known for his passing and everything like that, they're going to need him to run the ball a little bit just to give a little bit of a change of pace and everything. So Lefakis is going to be a real key for Haddonfield. Threw for 1,081 yards and 11 touchdowns last year. But one guy to watch for Haddonfield, too, is Cormac Flanagan. He's a junior from Australia. Had a fine sophomore year. He'll play linebacker, tight end, and my prediction is he will be double figures in making tackles.
So bringing some thunder from down under here. We talked about the Saab brothers for Glassboro. Obviously, a number of players to keep an eye on, and we'll talk and mention their names throughout the broadcast. Brandon Simmons. They also return quarterback Jack O'Connell. But it's time to get started here. It'll be Glassboro kicking away to Haddonfield. Glassboro moving left to right, and we are officially underway in the finale at the Battle at the Beach. Kick fielded at the 15-yard line. Positive yardage up to the 30. That's number 25, Brody Leonard for Haddonfield. And that's where the first drive will begin for the Haddons. Haddonfield, we talked about their head coach, Frank Delano, 176-72, now starting his 24th season. Haddonfield, of course, qualifying for the playoffs year in, year out, losing to Wall in the Group 2 Central semifinals a year ago. So we'll get our first look of the season of the Haddon's offense. We mentioned Van Lefakis, senior quarterback, and we'll see how the Haddons line up here to begin the ball game. This game running a little bit late, scheduled to begin at 6:15, officially getting underway at about 7:03 here, but a nice crowd on hand to watch these two teams. Lefakis looking to his right, and the timing just not there that time as he had Jax Marshall, but Marshall just didn't turn around quite in time.
Well, one of the things that they're going to do is try to, as you saw there, he rolled out that time. They're going to try to roll him out and keep him moving, because if you stay stationary, this Glassboro defensive line will swallow you up, Mike. They had 59 sacks last year, and they might be better this season.
Yeah, Brandon Simmons is one of those guys, really an all-state player. He's wearing number 55, and he wreaks havoc on that defensive line, a guy you have to keep an eye on if you're scheming things offensively. Lefakis, they'll go screen to the near side. Nice grab, leaping grab by Jack McKeever, and he's got some positive yardage. It'll be the first down of the game for the Haddons. McKeever had to go up to get that one, anything but routine, but it works for Haddonfield.
Well, again, the rush was coming on that side. They faked it to the right. You see Lefakis did, and then he was all open in there. In fact, a little bit of a lower pass, and he might have had more room. McKeever's a real key. We'll talk about him in a second.
First down, Haddons, as the ball is spotted at the 42-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground this time, and pushing the pile forward, and a nice gain on first down, as that's the first ground attack from the Haddons, and it's a gain of about 4 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
And again, Haddonfield with a very big offensive line. Logan Ray at 220, Michael Grant 250, Billy Mumbauer, who they just decided is going to be the center today. They weren't sure. He's at 250. Henry DeReyes, 225. Matt Rudder at 250. So it's not a small Haddonfield team.
Keep it on the ground once more, and this time Glassboro is all over it to give that time to Brody Leonard, but Leonard tripped up before he could really get going, and it'll bring up 3rd down here for the Haddons. Year number 5 of the Battle at the Beach. And we'll talk about some of the great matchups that occurred all throughout the weekend. Of course, day 1 down in Ocean City. For now, though, big 3rd down for the Haddons. Play action, going up top to his right, driving on the football, and that ball actually came loose at the very end. We'll see how they rule this, Mark, as it looked initially like Mike Keenan made the catch, then the ball came loose, and they're going to say incomplete. So good defense on the backside from the Bulldogs of Glassboro.
Well, that was Kenny Johnson, number 13, and right there, you'll look at him as we get a look there. Look how he broke and came back on that ball. That's an excellent play by Johnson, who's received some FCS and some FBS looks, as have many people from this Glassboro team.
So it's Cormac Flanagan in punt formation here for the Haddons. 10:23 remaining here in this first quarter as the punt is away, floating toward the far side of the field. Takes a bounce at the 25 and still rolling down to the just inside the 10, we'll call it. And this will give us our first look at Glassboro's offense.
Hey, Mekhi Parker, number 0, almost came close to blocking that punt. Some great pressure there by Glassboro.
So again, the Bulldogs explosive on offense a year ago. Group 1 state champions, in fact, and what a run it was before that. And leading up to and including the state championship game up at MetLife Stadium. And the buzz is back for Glassboro football. Of course, high school football, a whole different animal now with the state championship round. It's a program that's had some South Jersey championship tradition, but now state champions, and out to defend that crown. That begins on offense right here. It'll be Jack O'Connell wearing number 2 in the shotgun motion. They'll keep it on the ground to start, and Haddonfield all over that one. Number 25 up front, Brody Leonard in on the stop, and a loss on the play for Glassboro.
Not only that, but Haddonfield's defensive line that time held its ground. Number 54, Logan Ray, didn't make the tackle, but he held up his block and gave Leonard some chance to get in there.
Yeah, you wonder too, Glassboro, you wouldn't say an easy schedule, but mainly a Group 1 type schedule a year ago, and certainly dominating that schedule. Haddonfield is a little bit of a bigger school, some bigger bodies up front perhaps, and that's what makes this matchup so intriguing and why, a lot of casual football fans circled this one, maybe of all the games here, and the final day of the Battle of the Beach. Play action, O'Connell going deep down the field, jump ball, and almost caught as it was number 1, Xavier Sabb. He had the step, and double coverage, though, really actually good coverage on the back end. It needed a perfect ball. It was right there, but flag on the play as well, so we'll check this out.
Well, Mike Keenan, number 3 for Haddonfield, who's an outstanding two-way player, will get the call here.
Illegal shift on the offense. The penalty's been declined. Third down.
All right, so as you heard there, the referee wearing that microphone, and illegal shift penalty is declined, though. So it'll be 3rd down and long upcoming for Glassboro.
As I said, Mike Keenan in the back end made an outstanding job. He had 3 interceptions a year ago, Mike. And what you'll see from this Haddonfield team, the secondary players make a lot of tackles. He had 63 tackles a year ago.
So behind the sticks here is Glassboro. O'Connell getting things organized. Man in motion, left to right. Here's the snap. Screenplay, they set it up. And really going nowhere that time as Mekhi Parker could not get going because Haddonfield was there. And the Bulldogs of Haddonfield snuffed that one out. It'll bring out 4th down and a punt situation here for Glassboro.
Watch 33, Cormac Flanagan react to this play. See, Glassboro loves to get its receivers to run, and there's 33. He's pounding right in there, making the play.
So Flanagan, mentioning his name a number of times early on here in this one, and Haddonfield hoping for some good field position as a result of this punt. Mike Keenan is back. He's standing at the Glassboro 40. Punt is away. Keenan drifting back, calling for the fair catch. He makes it with a slight stumble at the 45-yard line, and Haddonfield will begin its next drive in plus territory.
Well, again, good defensive pursuit by Haddonfield that time. As we said, Glassboro like to throw a lot of delay patterns. They love to get Amari Sabb and Xavier Sabb in the open territory and to be able to run after the catch.
So here we go, second drive of the game for the Haddons. Quick throw out to the right side, got a man out there. It'll be a gain of about 4 or 5. That's Brody Leonard. And positive yardage on 1st down. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 for Haddonfield.
Interesting, Haddonfield going no huddle here, trying to hurry it up.
Yeah, you've seen Glassboro at times, certainly last year, go no huddle, and some confusion here. And really Haddonfield lucky to maintain that football. Lefakis was kind of stepping toward the line of scrimmage when that ball was snapped. Did the smart thing and just fell on it. And it'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Haddons. Discipline, such a big part of Haddonfield's program, really, Mark. It's a program that doesn't commit a lot of penalties, that seems to kind of always, be on time, always know what's going on. But it is week 0. And as we've seen throughout the weekend, sometimes these teams have to iron things out as they go. So 3rd and long here. Lefakis, play action. Pressure in his face, gets it away. Picks up a block, a big bruising block, and picking up the 1st down is Cormac Flanagan with some help from his friends, and they'll move the sticks for Haddonfield. Check out the block on this play, the catch from Flanagan. Talk us through it, Mark.
Absolutely, as he goes in there, and again, he didn't try to clip him from behind that time.
They go tempo. That was McKeever with the block. And now a flag comes in on the backside here. And we'll listen to the call. Well, you get the point. We didn't hear it, but we saw it. Penalty goes against Haddonfield. It'll back him up 5, and it'll set up a 1st and 15. The ball just inside the Glassboro 35.
Yeah, you talked about McKeever. We'll talk about it after this play.
3 men in motion, left to right. Keep it on the ground here, and Glassboro all over that one. And that is one fired-up player coming out of that pile, and that's Devon Barr as he makes the tackle for loss.
Well, that's the thing about Glassboro. When you're going up against them, we talked about their bulk and everything, but they're also so quick as well.
Barr all over this one, as really the ball carrier Leonard didn't have a chance to get anything going, and now a timeout is called by Haddonfield. So we'll take the timeout with them. We'll be right back after this. No score, 6:43 to go here in the first.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Mike, on that last play, again, a player that wasn't in on the tackle, but was number 10, Junior Serrano, and he forced that inside as Glassboro was able to make that play. And Serrano is a very, very quick. See, there you see 10. He just goes by there, but he forced it there, and then they were able to make the tackle on Leonard. But Serrano, he's going to be a handful to deal with today.
2 men in the backfield along with Lefakis, and now more flags come in. Looks like it'll be another penalty against Haddonfield, as right now the Haddons are going the wrong direction. So a drive that started with great field position and then had a big positive play, now all of a sudden back to almost where this drive started, but way behind the markers there as it's 2nd and very long. Call it 2nd and 21. Same formation here for the Haddons. Pitch to the right. And again, Glassboro all over that as Mike Keenan couldn't get going. And another tackle for loss as Glassboro continues to move Haddonfield the opposite way.
Oh, there's Junior Serrano. We talked about him just the play before. Watch number 10. He's so quick and strong. And he's the one that comes off here. Look at that. He got by really 2 people, made the tackle. You know, he had 75 tackles last year. He's a very, very active player.
Difficult to make that tackle in space, but Serrano able to wrap up, bring his man down. 3rd and very long here for the Haddons. Lefakis escapes the pressure to his left, gets a pass away, got a man along the sideline, and a nice catch there by Keenan. Was he in bounds? So they're going to say that, well, they're moving the ball all the way back to the original line of scrimmage, so they're going to say incomplete pass. So Keenan was not in bounds there. Didn't see an initial indication, but it'll bring up 4th and long here. And really almost inconceivable that Haddonfield will be punting when this drive began with that starting field position, but on 4th and 25, here's the punting unit. Punt is away. Takes a bounce inside the 30 and then skips out right around the 25-yard line. So Glassboro, despite that tough field position, the defense able to hold, and really the star there on that defensive series, Junior Serrano. As Mark, you talked about it, he seems to be in on a lot of the action early on here for Glassboro.
Well, the thing about him is, you know, he weighs 205, which obviously is undersized for a defensive end, but in high school he can get away with it because of his tremendous quickness.
So they're putting a little bit of time back on the clock, as you heard, 5:52. As the sun sets here in Glassboro, shadows taking over the field here at Richard Wacker Stadium. O'Connell under center this time, 2 backs behind him. The give on the ground to the near side as the flag comes in behind the play. That's Barr. Well, potentially a hold here on Glassboro. We'll listen to the call.
Holding. Offense.
So you heard all of that. Some Glassboro fans not thrilled with that call, but holding is the call. And that'll back up the Bulldogs of Glassboro 10 yards. So both teams kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit earlier on here, Mark, is, it's understandable. Week 0, sometimes things aren't always ironed out. The high school season starts earlier and earlier, but big-time games, some jitters, and some early mistakes from both teams in the penalty department.
We saw a nice wrinkle in there last time. They had Tasheen Butler, number 9, as an up back. Now they don't have it. They're just a single setback here. But
so that back is Barr, flanking O'Connell. O'Connell looking to the air, goes near side on the out route. Parker had it, and he brought it in. That's a tremendous catch by the sophomore, Makai Parker, 6'4", 189 pounds, and he had to withstand some contact there and bring that in along the boundary.
Yeah, and how about this throw? I mean, this is a big-time throw, a deep out on that, Mike, not much room, and Parker doing a great job of keeping his feet in bounds.
Able to maintain possession, survive the ground, if you will. So remember, there was 1st and 20, so it's still 2nd down, 2nd and 3. Again, it's Jack O'Connell in the gun, 2 receivers to his left, now a man in motion, right to left. Fake the handoff, zip it out wide to Xavier Sabb. Sabb, close to 1st down yardage there, as they'll spot him just short of the 35-yard line. And they'll move the stick, so a 1st down play for Glassboro.
Mike, this shows how quick Xavier Sabb is. I mean, he's one of the best players in the country in the junior class. And I thought that time McKeever had a good angle on him, and he was still able to get the extra yards for the 1st down.
Yeah, Xavier Sabb, a guy with all kinds of offers right now, along with Amari. Really too many to list, but he's going to have his choice to play just about any big-time Division I program. Now a delay and a draw and some positive yardage, nearly a 1st down that time for Barr. Well-executed play that time as Haddonfield was thinking pass. They delay and run the draw, and Barr picks up about 9.
Well, this is what Glassboro can do. They spread the field. Haddonfield had to cover everybody out there, and great delay and great timing that time.
So now all of a sudden Glassboro has some momentum going as they're approaching midfield. Still at their own 42-yard line, 2nd and a yard here. The end around here, and still on his feet is Amari Sabb. Amari Sabb finally wrestled down near the 30, that little push pass, touch pass, but there's a flag on the play, and this might be coming back.
I think we have a block in the back or a clip there that we saw early on in the play.
Come on! Put it away! Number 10 of the offense. The 10 yard penalty is the final foul.
So Glassboro ding there for the hold. And that little, you see that a lot in the NFL now. That counts as a forward pass because you're kind of pitching it forward there, but really it's kind of that jet sweep type play. And you saw some of the athleticism on display there by Sabb, but it will be coming back because of the hold. Kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back on this drive thanks to penalties for Glassboro. When the dust settles, it's 2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle. They'll gain some of that yardage back. And that's number 21 on the carry, Jojo DeLeche.
Jojo DeLeche is a guy, he started out, he's a Glassboro kid, but he went to Roman Catholic. And he's come back here now to come to Glassboro. He's really been impressive in camp on defense, but he'll certainly get some carries as well.
Yeah, DeLeche listed at 5'11", 190 pounds, newcomer to the program. His first touch of the game there. Under 3 to go here in this 1st quarter. As been a long first quarter with penalties for both teams. Third down coming here. Fake the handoff. O'Connell airs it out. Got a man downfield. Pulling it in. Xavier Sabb, and that's a touchdown for Glassboro. Xavier Sabb made a tremendous adjustment as that ball was in the air, and the junior brought it in easily after he beat his man and scampered in for 6.
What Glassboro did, they sent a man in motion. They were in man-to-man coverage here. And it's tough to do man-to-man coverage on Xavier Sabb. In fact, he had to hold up. That's how wide open he was. He had to wait for this ball. But again, if you're Haddonfield, I know you can't double everybody, but he's a guy you're going to have to because he was wide open.
60-yard passing touchdown from Jack O'Connell to Xavier Sabb. First points of the night are on the board in favor of Glassboro. It's a tough ask on the outside when you get one-on-one coverage for Haddonfield or really any other team in South Jersey, as now Glassboro will line up to go for 2. Full house backfield. They keep it on the ground this time to number 3. That's Amari Sabb. So both Sabbs getting in on the action. The 2-point conversion is good. And Glassboro now leads 8-0 with 2:31 to go. We'll take a break. Back after this.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
So a big-time play to begin the scoring tonight. We'll take another look. Mark, talk us through it.
Well, number 8 there, Teresa, goes in motion, and Haddonfield has to respect that. Great play action there, and look at the blocking. And that's a great scheme by Glassboro, getting Xavier Sabb in a one-on-one situation, Mike. He had 48 receptions for 843 yards and 12 touchdowns last year, and he wasn't the number 1 receiver in his own family. Amari, his brother, had 1,116 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Yeah, tough to go step for step. Jax Marshall, he was in decent position when that ball went in the air and almost got kind of turned around a little bit, but really it's also Sabb shifting to that extra gear that a lot of receivers don't have, and just so hard to match up on the outside. So that'll be the challenge tonight for Haddonfield.
I just don't know if there's a defensive back in South Jersey who can cover Sabb on a go route one-on-one.
Low kick, spinning, bouncing, fielded by one of the up men at the 25. Out across the 30, big hit there. That's number 12, Max Signs for Haddonfield. And the Haddons will go to work here trying to answer. Still 2:26 to go here in this first quarter in this finale of the Battle at the Beach. There's been some great games in this event, Mark. We talked off camera before the broadcast about that Bergen Catholic game, and man, it's been a fun weekend, as it always is.
There's no question about it. That Bergen Catholic 22-21 over East St. Louis, Illinois, Mike. One of the best games I've seen in a long time. Both teams nationally ranked.
Winslow hanging in before falling to IMG back on Thursday as well. And then the last couple of days, seeing some great action here at Rowan. Running play up the middle and muscling forward for some nice yardage that time is Keenan. And before he's down, he gains about 8 yards and running through some tackles there. So you're seeing kind of some of the power there from Keenan, 6'1", 185 pounds for the Haddons.
It's interesting, too, because number 4 for Glassboro, Maurice Davis on the outside, actually overran the play. He's so quick, he overran it. And that gave Glassboro a little alley for the middle.
Flag comes in behind the play here, and it's a sideline warning against Haddonfield. So it won't cost them any yardage here, as now Delano wants an explanation. So you get a warning. So this shouldn't cost Haddonfield anything if it's indeed that sideline warning. We'll listen in.
Sideline warning for Haddonfield.
So there you go. So it stays 2nd and short. Officially 7 yards on the carry from Keenan, so we'll call it 2nd and 3. Ball just shy of the 40. Keenan again, some work to do here to get to the sticks. The O-line trying to push him forward. Not a whole lot there, Mark. He does pick up 2. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
I'm telling you, I talked about it again last play, but Maurice Davis has just outstanding speed, number 4 for Glassboro on that edge. He's getting in the backfield, and it's going to make it tough for Haddonfield to run on the outside. Now, they've been effective the last couple plays going up the middle.
Ball spotted at the Haddonfield 41. Nose of the football touching the 41. They have to get to the 42. So every bit of a yard here. Lefakis in the gun. Man in motion. Lefakis is going to roll out. And that one is knocked down by number 4, Maurice Davis Jr. Incomplete, and decision time here for Haddonfield. There's also a player down on the field here for Glassboro. So we'll take a break while they tend to him. 47 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Glassboro on top, 8-0.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
So player still down and being tended to. We haven't gotten a look at the jersey yet for this player who's shaken up for Glassboro. But obviously when they're able to get him up, we'll bring you that information. So 8-0 our score, as Glassboro getting the big 60-yard touchdown pass from Jack O'Connell to Xavier Sabb. And Mark, you talked about it, the Sabb brothers, I mean, they get a lot of the headlines, and rightfully so, but just any time Glassboro is on offense, one of those guys is a threat to touch it and a threat to score from almost anywhere on the field.
There's no question about it. What Glassboro doesn't get as much credit for, Mike, is, we talk about how physical and big they are up front, just how quick they are defensively. I mean, they are forcing everything inside here today. And we've just seen 3 great defensive plays by Maurice Davis Jr., 6'5", 210-pound junior. And he's kind of been a game wrecker coming from the outside there. So, if you're Haddonfield, you kind of have to keep your poise. We said the key is going to be the big play. That's a shame they're going to bring out the cart.
Yeah, again, we don't know who this is yet because he's been down. Obviously, as you can see, he's being tended to, and now they're bringing the cart out. Obviously, you have to assume it's something more than a cramp at this point, but Glassboro huddling off to the side there. You see it at the bottom of the frame and keeping some eyes on their teammate there as they work to get him up onto the cart. Now a nice round of applause. It looks like that's number 50, Mark, and that's Tyler Bright, 6-foot senior, 235 pounds. And you just hope for the best for him as they get him some assistance onto that cart.
Guy that had 59 tackles a year ago for the state championship team. And
yeah, you see his teammates come over there and give him a tap. And now, look at this, the entire sideline coming out.
Yeah.
Such a physical game. And, you know, these kids know that any play can sometimes end like this. It's not what you want to see, but it's part of the game. And here comes Haddonfield, too. And you want to talk about sportsmanship. Here it is. So our best wishes, obviously, to Tyler Bright as you take a look there as he's being carted off. And Glassboro will have to continue this one without him.
You know, if I'm Haddonfield, what I would do is I would line up and try to draw them offside, maybe take a long count. I'm not sure I would try for it on 4th and 1 here, Mike.
Yeah, to get your reset, 4th and short, right? That's what we're looking at. So that's Mark going through some of the scenarios there. Yeah, I mean, you're just outside your own 40. I think that's probably what they'll try to do, try to draw Glassboro off. We'll see. Lafakis pointing, hard count. Haddonfield throwing kind of everything at Glassboro right now in terms of looks, just trying to get Glassboro to jump. Play clock down to 1. Play clock hits 0. And they'll just take the penalty there. So, Mark, you were all over that. It's a big gamble if you try to go for it there and don't get it. But it's worth trying to at least get Glassboro to jump. But showing good discipline that time was Glassboro, especially that front line there.
And Haddonfield lined up Dan Keenan. You saw him there, Mike. He's their backup quarterback. So they could have that play in their pocket and actually run it because he's an excellent runner.
So here is Flanagan in punt formation. Glassboro's been relatively close to a couple of these so far. Not here, though. Nice clean kick. Sabb is back, but it won't bounce toward him. The bounce goes in favor of Glassboro, and it will be down right at the 36. So that's where this drive will begin for Glassboro. Still 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. It's been a fun day. This is game 4 of 4 here on this final day of the Battle at the Beach. Southern all over Highland to begin the day. Same story for Delran over Bridgeton in game 2. Closer contest between Old Bridge and Cedar Creek. That was a 14-7 game until the fourth quarter when Old Bridge tacked on and won that game 21-0. And this one's been tight so far, but now Glassboro an opportunity to add to its lead here as the Bulldogs from across the street begin another drive. It's got to be the shortest quote-unquote away game of any team in South Jersey this year. In fact, I'm not sure, but I wonder if Glassboro just kind of walked their team across the street. So here we go, first down, and now the play clock running down. So Breaker and company losing track there. And actually a timeout was called, as you heard. So Glassboro burns a timeout to save them 5 yards. We'll take a quick break, right back after this.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
And we're back here. There you see the time left here in the first quarter, 37 seconds. Mike, you mentioned Old Bridge, who beat Cedar Creek. They're one of the biggest teams I saw. They had Connor Long, the big lineman, 6'8", 340. That's a Group 5 team to look at.
Certainly looked impressive to begin the season with a victory against the Pirates. Glassboro keeps it on the ground here and nothing doing, thanks in large part to number 9, Jack McKeever, who comes up to make the tackle for loss for Haddonfield. McKeever flexing there, 6'1", 205, making the stop from his linebacker spot.
You know, what's interesting about McKeever is we have a flag on the play.
Yeah, it's a sideline warning now, so against Glassboro. So now we're even in that department. But go ahead, Mark.
McKeever suffered a season-ending knee injury in the 3rd game last year, and Haddonfield really missed him on both sides of the ball. You know, he had 3 touchdown receptions in 3 games for them at tight end. So the return of McKeever has just been a major plus for this team.
2nd down and 11. O'Connell in the gun once more. Amari Saab, motion from right to left. And that is the end of the first quarter. So after one here at Rowan University, the hometown Glassboro Bulldogs on top of the Haddonfield Bulldogs by a score of 8-0. We're back after this.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Mike Franco and Mark Narducci back with you at Rowan University as we begin the second quarter. Stadium lights taking over here at Richard Wacker Stadium. Dusk here in Glassboro, but the season just getting started for both of these teams. It's 2nd and 11 here for Glassboro. O'Connell in the gun. Again, Saab in motion, left to right. Play action, got a man over the middle at midfield and more. Still on his feet, it's Mackay Parker. Parker bounces it to the near side, finally out of bounds at the 30. There's another smash play for Glassboro and a 1st down for the Bulldogs.
You know, I think something that doesn't get as much notice, watch the play action by O'Connell, number 2. Look at this. Everyone's held up there. And then Parker, again, Glassboro loves to do this, run after the catch.
Yeah, that's going to be a 1st down play anyway, thanks to the on-the-money throw from O'Connell to Parker. But then Parker, with that yak, weaving his way to the near sideline, and all of a sudden now down to the 31-yard line.
That was 39 yards on that reception. Big play. This is a big play team.
It is. Anyone who watched Glassboro last year knows it. They'll get you for 3 or 4 or 3, and then 30 or 35. And Breaker has to burn another timeout. So another timeout on the field. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
So the 2nd time there in this drive that Breaker and Glassboro's had to use a timeout to try and save that 5-yard penalty, but here we go. Fresh set of downs after the big catch and run from Parker. 1st down Glassboro. Again, it's O'Connell in the gun, and again, it's Amari Saab in motion left to right. O'Connell claps, wants to go up top, looking to the far side, floats one out toward the boundary. It's all Haddon's out there. How did he make that catch, Mark? Amari Saab comes down with it. They'll mark him just shy of the goal line. There were 3 Haddons in the area. The pass was tipped. Amari didn't give up on it. Check it out as he makes this catch.
I thought Hutch Ryan was going to make the interception there at 24. He jumped just a little bit too early. And how about the concentration by Amari Saab?
Man, total frustration there from Ryan. You saw it while the play was still in progress as his teammates are able to keep Saab out of the end zone. But first and goal from the 1. And that big break certainly going the way of Glassboro. So it might be Barr time down here. We'll see. It's O'Connell in the gun. Barr behind him. The give to Barr, and Barr punches it in. Another touchdown for Glassboro as the Bulldogs from across the street extend the lead.
.52, Dorian Kelsey was one of the people there that made the block. But look at everyone at Haddonfield's on the ground. They pounded them on the ground there. That's just devastating blocking.
Yeah, it's an offensive line asserting its dominance there. And one of the easier touchdowns Barr will have this season. Barr, a 6-foot junior. And now Glassboro will go for 2 once again. Barr stays on the field as the back. They fake it to him this time, and wide open in the back of the end zone is Xavier Saab. And so 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, and all of a sudden Glassboro stretches its lead 16-0, still over 11 minutes to go in the second. We're back after this.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Got golf on the brain? I know I do. There's no better time to golf than now. There's no better membership option out there than the Ron Jaworski Golf Eagle Pass membership. Go to ronjaworskigolf.com and learn how you can belong to 7 courses for the price of 1. Yes, you heard that correctly. 7 courses for the price of 1. This golf membership is an amazing value with great variety that allows playing privileges to individual, family, and corporate memberships at all of Ron Jaworski's award-winning golf courses.
Mike, 6-play, 64-yard drive. The big one was Parker's 39-yard reception.
Barr punching it in from the 1. Again, a low line drive kick. And weaving forward that time. Nice return by Mike Keenan, who kind of tiptoes through some bodies in there and then lowers a shoulder as he's out across the 35. And the question remains here, Mark, can Haddonfield sustain some offense here? Because all of a sudden they find themselves in a 2-touchdown hole.
Well, the respect that they showed for Glassboro's defense by not going on, and I wouldn't have done it either, as I said, because of just how tough they are defensively. Again, they're going to have to do some sure passing.
Lefakis in the gun. Motion right to left. And now they give it to the motion man. That's Marshall. Not a whole lot of room in there. Marshall able to pick up about 3 on the play. Again, that's Jax Marshall, the senior, and every yard you earn in there against this Glassboro front, Mark, is a yard well earned.
Well, I'll tell you again, number 4, Maurice Davis, turn that play around. Watch him from the outside. He turns it in, and they have to go on the inside, and they've done that all game.
So gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6, as Haddonfield creeps closer to midfield. The fact is under center now. Changing the formation, 3 men in motion, now lined up on the left side. Fake the handoff. And that ball is deflected, and really it's Glassboro all over that play. Maurice Davis Jr. for the 2nd time tonight blows up a screenplay.
Well, I think it's better that he didn't catch it because that ball was intended for number 9, McKeever. Watch as he'll stay in, he'll make a block there. He's going in motion, and watch, he'll make this block here, right, as if he's going to be a blocker, and then they send him outside. But the problem was, besides the fact that, again, Davis tipped it, he was not open anyway. You have Haddonfield actually fortunate for that.
So another key play here in this first half if Haddonfield wants to hang in this game. 3rd down and 6. Lefakis almost lost his footing there. Now looks to his left. Covered up on the backside as that pass floats incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down for Haddonfield.
Yeah, Amari Saab and JoJo DeLeese right there on the spot. I still think that Lefakis, who's not known as a runner, has got to make a few plays with his legs here just to kind of stretch things out.
So the punting unit comes on once again for Haddonfield. Once again, it's Xavier Saab back deep, standing at his own 15-yard line.
And there's no way you should kick it to him. This is going to be a directional punt out of bounds, I can tell you.
Yeah, Haddonfield's done well with these so far, although this one is floating in his direction. Might not get there, though, and it doesn't. Takes a Glassboro bounce, still bouncing. Haddonfield touches it just before it creeps back to the 35-yard line. A little bit of a disagreement between players behind the play, but that's quickly separated here. And all of a sudden, a little bit of danger time here for Haddonfield, Mark. They've seen Glassboro score twice now, and Glassboro with the football once again, and almost a must-stop situation for Haddonfield to try to hang in this game.
Yeah, there's no question. I think the key is just how diversified Glassboro's been. They're certainly not predictable. When they could either run or pass it, and you certainly have to respect both.
Glassboro, Group 1 school that ranked number 14 in the state. Shows you that what kind of talent they have on this roster.
This looks like a running formation here.
And it is. And this time Haddonfield's all over it, though. Big number 54 helping to lead the charge up front, Logan Ray. And that's a tackle for loss for the Haddons.
Yeah, Logan Ray had 8 sacks last year. Had a big year for Haddonfield. Played off the block. In fact, he had to play off the block of Amiri Saab, and Amiri held up so he wouldn't clip.
They'll give him forward progress, DeLeese on the play, who was the ball carrier, so really just a loss of 1. Still a tackle for loss there for the Haddons. 2nd and 11 as we approach 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. High snap, O'Connell brings it down, hands it off. And again, not a ton of running room, but doing well to at least fight for some yardage that time is JoJo DeLeese, the junior. Could have been another tackle for loss there, Mark, but he seeks some of that special ability from DeLeese as he's able to fight forward for a gain of 4.
Yeah, 195, he's deceptively strong. That extra effort, he got about an extra 3-4 yards.
So Haddonfield seemingly a play away here from getting the stop it needs to stay in this game. 3rd and 7. O'Connell claps his hands, gets the snap. Another delay, a draw, and this time Haddonfield's all over it. 60 leading the charge there for Haddonfield. That's Henry DeReyes. And the punting unit comes on for Glassboro. Big time stop from the Haddons.
That's an excellent play. Also 69, Matt Rudder was in there as well. Again, this is a great play. A delay, draw there. As you mentioned, DeReyes and Rudder there.
So here's the punt. I believe the first punt of the game, a low one from Glassboro. Fielded at the 35, and a nice return there from Haddonfield. As they'll begin this drive, the 45. We do have a flag down behind the play, right near the line of scrimmage. So we'll sort this out here. Officials talking things over. Officials have been busy so far in this one. As the conversation continues. As it stands, it would be Haddonfield possession at its own, roughly the 45-yard line. And they're going over to the far sideline to ask what Delano wants to do here. So I believe it would be, well, we'll see. We'll listen to the official here.
I would decline. I think it's on Glassboro.
Personal foul. Glassboro, number 9. Face mask. Will be assessed from the end of the run, 15 yards. First down, Haddonfield.
All right, so that'll move the ball into plus territory, or at least it should for Haddonfield, as the 15 yards will be tacked on. So we'll see where they spot it. It'll be the Glassboro 40. So a short field in front of Haddonfield. Can the Haddons do anything with it here? Best opportunity of the night so far, as it'll be 1st and 10 for Haddonfield. Lefakis continuing to operate out of the gun. Goes deep, got a man, and he overthrew him, as that was McKeever splitting a pair of defenders. He had the step, and the ball just had too much air under it that time, as Haddonfield takes a shot, but comes away empty.
Well, obviously on that other play, I thought it was in the run of play, and if Haddonfield declined, they'd punt again, but obviously they got the 15 at the end. How about McKeever, though, getting open on that? I think Haddonfield's going to come back to that play.
Yeah, good deception there, as it looked almost like a short screen pass, or at least a quick pass in the flat. And I think, you know, some of the DBs maybe just took that half step, and that allowed McKeever to race past him.
Dan Keenan in the game now, and he's a running threat, as we said, Mike.
So they keep it on the ground here with him, as Keenan fights for maybe 2. You figure this is 4-down territory, though, Mark, so 2 plays to get about 8 yards here upcoming for Haddonfield. So you mentioned Keenan, little change of pace. He is a junior. List him at 6 feet, 195 pounds. He stays in the game now, wearing number 10. Keeps it. And stood up, big hit by a number of players, including Simmons, as Brandon Simmons announces his presence in this one to bring up 4th down.
Well, there might be the best defensive player in the state in Brandon Simmons. Keenan keeps it, and he just plows him. Of course, Simmons is going to Eastern Michigan. He's already committed. He'll be playing in the Middle Atlantic Conference, and he'll be a very good player. The one thing about Simmons, you say, well, what about bigger schools? He's 6'1", and teams sometimes get a little caught up with that.
Got a feeling he's going to be one of those diamond in the rough kind of guys at a school like that. Big 4th down play here. Obviously, Haddonfield needs to go up top. Going to the far sideline, got a man. Haddonfield has it, and it'll be 1st and goal, as that's number 25 for the Haddons, Brody Leonard, off of the dime from Van Lefakis. Haddonfield in business.
And how about all the time Lefakis got by the offensive line for Haddonfield? Had plenty of time, because this pattern took a little bit of time to develop. Now the play action isn't going to fool anybody there, but look at that.
An absolute dot there
And
to Leonard. And a nice catch, yeah, no doubt, to make that catch in stride and pick up some more yards.
You saw Logan Ray, 54, Mike, there.
So first
Blocking.
and goal, yep, 1st and goal from the 7. Man in motion, left to right this time. Keep it on the ground. And a gain of about 2 that time was Leonard. So it'll be 2nd and goal from right about the 5-yard line here. This is where things get tough. You know, Haddonfield has to find a way to punch this in here, but that big front from Glassboro certainly not going to make it easy. Approaching 5 minutes to go in the half, so obviously plenty of time here for the Haddons to work with. 2nd and goal. Lefakis under center this time. The pitch to the left. Trying to cut it back and really finding no running room that time is Leonard. And 3rd down. Haddonfield's only gained about a yard through a couple of plays here.
Well, number 10, Junior Serrano, made this play. How many times have we seen this? Watch number 10. He's going to turn this inside, Mike. I mean, he's been there he is. See, he turns it in. He's on the outside. He's not a part of the tackle, but he made a big play there.
Sets the edge, works that play back inside as his teammates clean up. 4:19 to go and ticking. Third down from the 6. Keenan in motion. Lefakis rolling to his right, trying to find someone. Zips one to the back of the end zone. Got a man. Touchdown, Haddonfield. That's Jack McKeever on the connection. And the Haddons are right back in the ball game.
Well, again, Lefakis, we said, can't be stationary. Look, they double-teamed the blocks on the outside and gave him time to do it for Haddonfield. You saw number 2, Dominic Ruffalo, gave that extra block, gave Lefakis a little bit extra time. Now, Dan Keenan is their place kicker, but I guess they're looking at the score here and saying we need 2.
Yeah, maybe doing the math here. You don't know how many opportunities they're going to have. So 2-point conversion upcoming here. Lefakis in the gun, motions his man out. Wants to go near side and right through the hands. That would have been a real tough catch by Flanagan as he had to leap and try to bring that one down. Just a little bit too much on the pass. So Haddonfield has to settle for 6. We got a 16-6 ball game, 4:06 to go here in the second.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Hey, more than 400 crafters, food vendors, and entertainers will line a mile of downtown Asbury Avenue between 5th Street and 14th Street on October 11th in Ocean City. That's the OC Fall Block Party. It'll feature entertainers and bands at various spots along the avenue between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. The Ocean City Fall Block Party, October 11th, starting at 9 a.m. Remember, Ocean City is twice as nice in the fall. A little bit of a fall feel developing here as this beautiful day in Glassboro has turned to night. And Haddonfield, Mark, right back in the game, really needing a score there, and they got it.
They did, and here's the thing. You have both Saab brothers back there. You don't want to kick to them. Do you squib this?
The answer is they kick it deep, and it'll be Xavier catching it right at the 5. And good coverage from Haddonfield that time, as that's Charlie Armstrong making the nice play on special teams as he got a hold of that leg and would not let go.
Armstrong, a senior, 6'175", did a great job because, you know, if Saab gets to the outside, it's all over.
So the X-Man couldn't get going there. Good coverage from Haddonfield. And really the worst starting field position of the day for Glassboro as they'll begin this drive just inside their own 16-yard line. Still plenty of time, 4-minute drill, obviously in effect here with 3:58 to go. So we'll see how Glassboro begins this drive. O'Connell in the gun, and they'll keep it on the ground. A burst to the outside. That's Joe DeLise. Stood up right at the marker, but that should be enough for a first down as DeLise gets his longest carry of the night so far.
Actually, the DeLise tried to cut it back. I'm not sure if maybe he would have kept going outside here. Oh, tremendous blocking there.
Yeah, right here, you're right. If you just keep going, you get more yardage.
Yeah.
He came back upstream and was met by that Haddonfield defense, but not before a first down run. So clock continues to run, under 3:30 to go.
And I'll tell you, DeLeese is going to be, as good as Barr is, and he's good, it's a great 1-2 tandem here in the backfield.
Fake the handoff this time. O'Connell under pressure. Ball is loose, and he did well to just fall on it. Credit that time for Haddonfield. Logan Ray, who was in O'Connell's face, maybe even got a handle on that football. Either way, the ball came loose, and it's a big loss here for Glassboro. Let's take a look.
You know, Logan Ray, for a defensive line, he made a lot of tackles last year, 72 tackles. We mentioned the 8 sacks. He actually got by 2 blocks and did a great job going after the ball.
Yeah, actually got a piece of O'Connell's arm there, which caused the fumble. And at that point, O'Connell did the smart thing, which is just to fall on it. So that changes things here. And now maybe Haddonfield a chance to get the ball back here in this first half. There's still 2:30 to go. It's 2nd and 24 for Glassboro. And now whistle. Timeout taken by Glassboro. They're third of the half, so we'll take it with them. We're back after this with 2:23 remaining in the half.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Mike, we have a 2nd and 26 from the 10. Now, if you're Glassboro, do you throw the ball, risk an incompletion, stop the clock? It's going to be interesting what Glassboro is going to do back here.
Yeah, Glassboro, a team that obviously has some high percentage pass plays, some quick slants, some screens. And you wonder if they go to that here. Yeah, you play that game, do you want to give Haddonfield the ball back? Do you want to just keep the clock running?
Empty backfield.
Guess there's our answer. O'Connell, he wants to go deep. Going right across the middle. Plenty of traffic in there, and that's a dangerous pass. Looking for Parker. Parker kind of slipped right before he was about to jump, and the ball, thankfully for Glassboro, just hits the turf.
Pretty good job and a pretty good pass rush. 52, Raphael Lytle got in there at the end. Well, I said good pass rush. Actually, it was good pass protection there, but that ball was thrown way too high.
So the clock stops. 2:17 to go. Again, Haddonfield has a couple of timeouts in its pocket. And it's 3rd and very long here for Glassboro. Originally it was 24. They've changed it to 26. So 3rd and 26.
Remember the success they had with the delayed draw, too. So
another key spot in the game right here. Screenplay, trying to set it up. Got a man, Haddonfield all over it. Completion to Xavier Sabb, but Haddonfield was ready for it. It'll bring up 4th and long, and Haddonfield uses one of its timeouts.
watch Jack McKeever on this play, number 9. You see him at the top of your screen.
He read it the whole way.
He read the play the whole way. And look at him, had to make up some ground to make that tackle. That's an outstanding job by McKeever. We talked about what a big addition he's been after only playing in 3 games last year due to injury.
So it flips the script a little bit here late in the first half. You know, you had the Haddonfield score, and then you had Glassboro trying to get a drive moving, and all of a sudden now Glassboro compelled to punt the ball back to Haddonfield, and the Haddons will have an opportunity with, you would assume, some decent field position here. We'll see how this shakes out. Potentially, if you're Haddonfield, if you've got to play on special teams to rush this as well, try to get a block, this would be the time to use something like that. If I remember correctly, Haddonfield did receive the ball to begin the game. So maybe a chance to get back into this with Glassboro receiving that second half kickoff. So it's number 3 back to return. That's Keenan for the Haddons. He's standing at the Glassboro 40. This punt will have to be sent out from the goal line. It's O'Connell gets it away barely. Short kick, it'll bounce 30. It's still bouncing. It takes a nice Glassboro roll, and by the time it stops, it'll be close to midfield. So that's about as much as you can hope for if you're Glassboro right there.
Well, if you look at that punt, for Haddonfield, number 25, Brody Leonard, came really, really close to blocking that. Put a lot of pressure on it. As you mentioned, Mike, got a great Glassboro bounce. Watch to the left side. Oh, almost got in there.
Yeah, kind of a quick kick from Glassboro. Usually you take another beat there, but if you're down in that territory, you just want to get that one away. That's what O'Connell was able to do. But as we reset here, there's still 1:55 remaining, and Haddonfield starts this drive at the 48-yard line of Glassboro.
Now they're opening up. This is where a draw might work, believe it or not. Not sure they'll do it, but
Try to set up the screen, and really nobody was home on that near side. That's a miscommunication there, as the only eligible receiver in the area was McKeever, and he was blocking.
I think the person that had the best shot at it was number 20 for Glassboro, who was fine on the coverage, Corey James Jr. that time.
Yeah, some miscommunication there. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Haddonfield. The clock obviously stops with the incompletion, 1:50 to go. According to the stadium scoreboard, the Haddons have 1 timeout remaining, and obviously Glassboro has used all of its timeouts. So a chance to be aggressive here for Haddonfield.
They tried faking one way, going the other. It's all this kind of misdirection stuff you're doing against.
Pressure here, got to get rid of it. Up for grabs and making the catch. Wow, what a play that time for the Haddons. That's McKeever. And what a throw from Lafakis, who was under all kinds of duress from Maurice Davis Jr. Take another look.
Watch 4 as he will crush the quarterback. And this is Lafakis, as you called it, Mike, hanging in there. Look at that. Takes the hit, and McKeever has to adjust to that play. DeLeese lost him that time.
So McKeever down at the 5-yard line. So 1st and goal, clock running, 1:18 to go in the half. Ball is loose, picked up, still on the move, shoulder down, close to the goal line and nearly in. They're going to mark him short, but Lafakis did more than fall on that one. He scooped it up and put his shoulder down there.
Well, Mike, we said that Lafakis has to make some plays with his legs today. I don't think they meant this way.
This was almost disaster, but check this out. Quick thinking from the senior here.
I think that ball may have hit Flanagan, maybe at 33, I'm not sure, but.
Watch this at the end. He's fighting for it. Knocked out of bounds, and the clock stops as a result.
Well,
2nd and goal here.
How about that hit by Amari Sapp?
Yeah, making sure that that play didn't go for a touchdown.
These guys aren't just, fleet, fast people. The Sabs are tough kids. You saw it there.
And now a timeout as Delano races in to burn his final timeout.
And now they have Keenan coming back at quarterback, the running quarterback. What's interesting, Mike, is Keenan this summer wasn't at camp in the beginning. He had an illness. I believe it was mono. So he's still working his way into things. Frank Delano said before the game he was hoping to get him in a few plays. We saw him earlier come in. I think there's a big chance that, the ball's at the 1-yard line anyway. It's actually inside the 1. But with Keenan, they'll try to run it.
Yeah, 1:04 on the clock, out of timeouts. So situation, Mark, where if Glassboro does come up with a stop, if you're Haddonfield, you don't want to panic. You still have plenty of time, but you got to be getting back on the ball here at some point.
And Lafakis is back in the game. Keenan was in there. Oh, they both are in the game. There it is. Okay, they're both. And now Keenan goes to the side. Dan Keenan goes to the sideline.
All right, so we should see Lafakis unless the Haddons go with some kind of wildcat look here. It'll be Lafakis under center.
They have Flanagan in there in the backfield. And now he shifts over.
Keenan, the running back, now out of the gun. The give to Keenan, and Keenan is in. So a touchdown for Mike Keenan. as the Haddons inch even closer here. It's now 16-12 with either an extra point or a 2-point conversion pending.
When we see this, watch the block by 9, McKeever on the outside. A lot of great shifting. See, McKeever and Flanagan, the two tight end set, lined up together. Now watch what 9 does. Well, first Flanagan, and then boom, there it is. So the two tight ends that were lined there make the block. And Haddonfield's well back in this game.
So now it'll be Keenan setting up for the kick with the hold from the other QB, Lefakis. These guys do it all. Kick is up, line drive, but it is good. And the extra point brings the Haddons within 3, 16-13 here with 1 minute to go. We'll take a break, back to close out the first half after this.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
Mike, as we're back here with the score 16-13, no matter what happens on this kickoff, there is a minute left. That's an eternity when you have a big play team like Glassboro. Now remember, they kicked it to Xavier Sabb last time. We'll see how they do it there this time.
Both teams out of timeouts. Short kick. Should still have an opportunity here. It's fielded by Amari. Amari's loose. There goes Amari Sabb, angling toward the sideline. Haddonfield able to drag him down by the jersey, and that's number 33, Flanagan. But you just mentioned it. Kicking to these guys, you kick to them at your own risk.
Yeah, they did a good job the last time, but these Sabbs are just, he fields it at about the 12.
Runs into a wall at first, but then finds the seam in a hurry.
And how about Flanagan? Look at him. I thought Sabb had a pretty good angle that time, and Flanagan cut down that angle and did a great job with a touchdown-saving tackle.
You could almost see Flanagan, peeking at the sideline, realizing that he had to beat him to the spot or else he was going to get left in the dust. He was able to do it. So still 49 seconds to go. Short field here for Glassboro. O'Connell claps, hands off. Keep it on the ground. This time it's Xavier Sabb, and not too much doing there. The clock will run. Something to remember here as Glassboro had to use its timeouts. So 34 seconds and ticking here.
That's a great tackle that time by Brody Leonard.
Ball just being spotted right now as you take a look at the replay.
Oh, excuse me, Leonard made the initial hit. Excuse me on that. But Leonard made the initial hit and slowed him down.
We're down to 16 seconds, Mark. Glassboro has to show more urgency here. They're going to run it again. And loose. How's that for urgency? Urgently getting into the end zone is Amari. Maybe the Bulldogs of Glassboro knew what they were doing. Certainly worked out for him as Amari Sabb punches it in. 32-yard run for the touchdown. And you mentioned it, a minute is an eternity as we take another look. Sabb hitting the hole, hitting it hard.
Watch 55, Brandon Simmons on the block. Right there, turned it around. He got Ray, who was right there. Did a good job not causing the hold that time. But Simmons, we talk about him so much on the defensive line, made the big block there.
So this one turning into a bit of a shootout here in the second quarter. And now Glassboro is missing a player on the field. The flag comes in.
Legal substitution, Glassboro, 5-yard penalty, free kick.
So it'll back him up 5.
Well, we
And,
said a minute was enough time. Actually, they only needed 54 seconds.
you know, it's funny, I don't know if funny is the word, but you had the big return, and then because of no timeouts, all of a sudden an eternity is ticking off the clock there, and we're wondering, you know, what the plan is. But have no fear when you have Amari Saab toting the rock. Glassboro will try to kick the extra point here for the first time tonight. Sal Escrow, the kicker. The ball's loose, though, and now it's trouble the other way. And this play will be blown dead. So extra point no good. Haddonfield will take it. And it looks like we're going to go into the half here with a 9-point game, 22-13 our score. We'll keep it here with the kickoff to come. So extra point no good here. Just one score in the first quarter, Mark, but these teams have each scored a couple of times here in the second quarter. Pretty entertaining way to close out the Battle of the Beach.
I'll tell you, if you're a defense, it is so distressing to have to deal with the Sabs. I mean, you saw Amari make that big catch down there, set up. You saw Xavier on the 60-yard touchdown catch, and then you see Amari here exploding. And well, there's a reason why these guys are considered some of the best in the state and beyond.
He talks about some of the offers, just almost every major program in the country trying to get these guys.
Of course, their brother is Keon Saab, who played on that Michigan national championship team. I remember he had 6 tackles in the championship game, transferred. He's now at Alabama.
Yeah, Keon playing his final high school season in Williamstown before going down to IMG. So still 6 seconds, anything is possible. Maybe we're not done scoring here in this half, we'll see. Glassboro to kick this one away. Parker, toe pokes it. Fielded at the 20, or is it? Ball is loose. And heads up play to get back on top of that by Brody Leonard. Almost disaster. There would have been about as it stands, 3 seconds for Glassboro to try for the end zone. Instead, it'll probably be Haddonfield taking a knee here. Sometimes those low line drive kicks are a little challenging, and Leonard experiencing that there, but able to redeem himself by diving on top of it.
I expect Haddonfield, when they have to kick off to begin the third quarter, to make one of those kicks too. I think we've seen the last of the deep kicks.
So Haddonfield will end the half here with a kneel down. And we will go into the break with our score, 22-13. Entertaining first half, Mark. And we still have another half to go. As you mentioned, it'll be Glassboro to receive the second half kickoff. We'll step aside, stay with us. Second half still to come here from Rowan University.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
Welcome back to Rowan University. Mike Franco alongside Mark Narducci in this Battle at the Beach finale. Glassboro leads Haddonfield 22-13 at the half, as the second half is just moments away. Mark, I know you were spending halftime breaking down the stats there. What are some of the ones that jumped out at you?
Yeah, Mike, these are unofficial because I'm obviously taking them while we're doing the game. But how about the efficiency of O'Connell? 6 for 8 for 178 yards, and he had that 60-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Sabb. Meanwhile, LaFacus 6 for 13, 112 yards and a touchdown. Haddonfield has only rushed for 24 yards on 12 carries, but Glassboro with an explosive attack at 47 yards on 13 carries. So the Haddonfield defense has done a pretty good job in that aspect, but as we said, the whole key with Glassboro, the big play, and they've had plenty of them here in the first half.
No doubt about it. If you're joining us late, break down the first half scoring for you. Just one touchdown in that first quarter. As Mark mentioned, it was that 60-yard bomb from O'Connell to Xavier Sabb, and then Amari Sabb added the 2-point conversion. So 8-0 after one, and then both teams lighting the scoreboard up in the second quarter. It was the 1-yard touchdown run from Barr, and then another Xavier Sabb 2-point conversion to make it 16-0. Haddonfield then got on the board with the McKeever catch from LaFacus. 2-point conversion was no good, so 16-6 at that point. Haddonfield scored again on the Keenan 1-yard touchdown run, kicked an extra point. So at that point, Haddonfield was within 3, but there was that minute to go in the first half. The long kickoff return, and then a couple plays later, a 32-yard touchdown run from Amari Sabb. Extra point failed, and that's where we stand right now, 22-13, with Haddonfield getting set to kick this one away, and Glassboro will receive the second half kickoff. They're in the dark jerseys, white pants. They'll be moving left to right on your screen. The Haddons in the white jerseys, black pants.
I would not kick it to either Sabb, I'll tell you that. And now see, well, they could lateral it back to them, and they do.
And it's what they do. So they lateral it back to Amari, and Amari dances around a little bit, and then finally brought down. And so this drive will begin at the 32-yard line. Yeah, I guess that's how you combat. If the team's not going to kick it to him, you could always toss it back to him. Take another look here, fielded by one of the up men, and just instructed to kind of turn around and toss it away.
Well, that is good instruction. And again, they limited him, as I say, limited to about a 12-yard kickoff return. Again, they're not letting him get to the outside. That's a good job. That was you saw number 3, Mike Keenan. He was had his body with his back to the sideline. Wasn't going to let him turn the corner.
All right, so first drive of the second half for Glassboro. Very efficient was Jack O'Connell, as you heard Mark break down the stats there at halftime. And now an early timeout. We saw this a couple times in the first half, Mark, and almost inconceivable that you would need to burn one to begin the second half, but that's where we're at. And look, in a game like this, it might not come back to haunt you, but you never know.
Yeah, I'm sure Timmy Breaker, the head coach, is not happy. As you mentioned, in his third year, he was a great player. He won a couple state titles here at Glassboro, and then he went on to Delaware.
Yep,
ended up playing in what was known, I think, back then as a 1AA. Now it's FCS, but played in the championship game. Played for current Temple coach Casey Keeler. So, and then he started coaching in the midgets. That's really how he got his start here. And now he's worked his way up in his third year, and he's one of the most respected coaches in South Jersey, one of the young coaches.
Yes, success has come quickly. He's built an incredible roster here, 22-4. Coming into his third season, as you mentioned, and then the longtime coach Frank Delano. Nearly a quarter century on the sidelines for Haddonfield. So here we go, 1st and 10. They give it to the back. It's Barr. Barr with a little room to run behind that left side of the line. He picks up nearly 5 on the play. It'll set up 2nd and 5.
Dominic Ruffalo, number 2, did a really nice job there chasing him down from the backside. Here it is, another look at it. There was a great block there by 2. There you see number 2, a great block, as I said. by number 55, Brandon Simmons. You know, so much about Simmons talk about is on the defensive end, but he's had some absolute crunching blocks here so far.
Another player down here for Glassboro. Fortunately for the Bulldogs, it looks like this is a cramping situation. Trainer out there working on that. So,
you know, I saw a lot of cramping in the Winslow Township game that they lost to IMG Academy in this Battle of the Beach on Thursday. Winslow had a lot of cramping, and you know, it was 35-14, but it was 21-14 at the half. It was 21-0, and then Winslow came back and really showed some fight. And then Winslow was driving again and wasn't able to make it, and then IMG Academy took over. But again, as Coach Bill Belton said, there's no moral victories, but they really, it was the difference between a great local team and a great national team. And Belton said, we hope to get there, you know, someday. But that loss aside, I think Winslow's still the #1 team in South Jersey, and it should be interesting.
yeah, Winslow, an impressive showing in the loss. Rancocas Valley, big win over Millville, which is another one of those eye-popping games. That's number 5 now on his feet. That's Barr. And again, it looks certainly like a cramp. He's in some discomfort. Hopefully get him hydrated and back out there. Yeah, RV, the big win over Millville last night right here at Rowan. And another one of the marquee games of this event. We talked about the Bergen Catholic thrilling victory over East St. Louis. You know, we haven't talked about Ocean City, but very one-sided. It was a 6-0 game against Oakcrest, and then Ocean City really pulled away in that fourth quarter.
Couple defensive scores. And
yeah, no doubt. And then Northern Highlands making the trip down to South Jersey, taking care of a pretty good Holy Spirit team by a couple of touchdowns too. So just some of the highlights of this event, Battle at the Beach. Now in its 5th year, it's become really the marquee event to open the season, certainly in South Jersey, if not statewide. 2nd and 5. Fake the handoff over the middle, got a man, and it's dropped as Amari Saab just could not pull that one in. And it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
yeah, you won't see him drop.
Does it again here. And now he wants to go deep. Airs one out down the middle. Double coverage. And this ball is intercepted by the Haddons. Mike Keenan with the pick. Keenan and company trying to stop getting picked on over the top. That's one way to do it. And it'll be Haddonfield football here in what could be a key play to begin this 3rd quarter.
Well, Keenan read the play, so he got back. He saw that they were going deep, and he got back. As you see, he was actually behind Saab there.
Just really tough to squeeze that ball in there on double coverage, no matter how athletic Saab is or whoever's on the outside, either Saab or Parker. But at the same token, Mark, you know, they've hit a couple of those today. So it's hard to knock the strategy, but this time it doesn't work out. So Haddonfield gets the stop to begin the 3rd quarter. Still less than a minute gone by. And this drive will begin on Haddonfield's 10-yard line. The give over the left side, really not much there at all, as that was Brody Leonard on the carry. Maybe a gain of a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Leonard has toted the rock a few times tonight. Senior. 6 feet, 185 pounds.
Well, we talked about Brandon Simmons making the crunching blocks. That time, it looked like he beat a double team and got in there, and 55 made the tackle. He had 20 sacks a year ago, 30, including 32 tackles for loss.
So 2nd and long upcoming here for Haddonfield. Again, the Haddons got touchdowns from Keenan and McKeever off the pass from Lefakis in that first half. on the ground again here, and again, not a whole lot there. As once more, it's Leonard with the carry. He'll get another yard with just 2 yards on the last 2 carries. It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Well, there's Simmons. You see him right there, 55. He was right there on the play, and that's the thing. He's got the ability to just totally blow up a play. 6'1", 260, but he's as strong as any lineman you're going to see, Mike.
So Simmons and company doing the job so far. One more play, though, here. 3rd and long. Shotgun. Lefakis under pressure, steps through it. Still on his feet, has to turn his body to get that pass away. This could be dangerous, and it's intercepted. Xavier Sabb returns the favor, and it'll be Glassboro football. So right near midfield, that ball was thrown up as we take a look here. All kinds of pressure, and Lefakis just had to unload this one.
Maurice Davis Jr. was the one that got him out of the pocket, and then you're going to your left, and you're trying to throw it there, and it would have been better throwing it out of bounds.
Yeah, when the dust settles, I guess it's, just about as good as a punt. It was 3rd down there. You're trying to make something happen. But back-to-back interceptions, and Glassboro with the football. You see there, the ball is marked at the 47-yard line of Haddonfield. Temperature continues to cool here on what was a gorgeous day in Glassboro. Out of the backfield here. DeLeese still on his feet. He'll pick up about 9.5. It'll be short of a 1st down, but a tremendous 1st down run, again, from the junior, JoJo.
Yeah, he broke a tackle, too. The Haddonfield seemed to have him contained.
So DeLeese maybe will be leaned on a little bit more if Barr is having some cramping issues. That remains to be seen. Certainly effective on that run. 2nd and short here, and really the entire playbook is open in a down and distance situation like this for Glassboro. So Connell in the gun. Fake the handoff, and they're going to take a shot down the sideline. Gets behind his man, makes the catch for a touchdown. Xavier Sabb. Haddonfield wanted a push off there. They won't get it as Xavier Sabb hauls it in from 39 yards out for the touchdown.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jax Marshall, number 8, got a pretty good drop there, but it looked like he tripped up a little bit. There it goes.
Yeah, you see a Haddonfield player hit the ground there.
That was Marshall, tripped up, and then Keenan trying to get to him, and there's Xavier Sabb.
So 28-13, and now Glassboro will have an opportunity, likely to go for 2 here. All right, so full house formation at the moment. See if there's any motion. There's not. They'll just hand it off. And slipping around the outside and scooting in for the conversion is Amari Sabb. So Xavier Sabb with the big score. Amari adds the 2, and Glassboro back comfortably ahead, 30-13.
And we have to say, Xavier had the interception to set it up. The only question about Xavier Sabb is what position he's going to play in college. And I wouldn't put it past him to play offense and defense. He had 7 interceptions last year, Mike, and they didn't really want to throw anywhere near him, and he still got 7. Got the one to set up this touchdown.
Yeah, some guys that can certainly play both ways to the next level. And, they remind a lot of people of the Melton brothers from Cedar Creek as well. A couple of highly regarded prospects coming out. Both ended up going to Rutgers and now both in the NFL. You actually saw Bo switch from receiver to defensive back this season. So that same kind of dynamic family lineage and just explosive playmakers no matter what side of the ball they're on.
Well, we talk about the big plays, right? Glassboro's had 4 of them. of 29 yards or longer.
Yeah, something we mentioned off the top, no doubt about it. When you watch Glassboro football, you always have to fear the big one. They take those shots, and they hit one there. Low line drive kick and fielded and falling down at the 25. He popped up, but of course at high school level, that's game over once the knee goes down, was Brody Leonard. So Haddonfield will try to get back into this thing.
Well, he remembered that last kickoff where they with 6 seconds left, and Haddonfield bobbled it, was able to recover it, so he was going to play it safe.
So certainly an uphill climb now for Haddonfield. It was a 2-score game, 9-point deficit at the half, but now that has obviously swelled considerably. Still plenty of time, though. 8:23 remaining in this third quarter. Both these teams with a short week coming up. Today being Saturday, they both play on Friday next week. Glassboro will host Haddon Heights. Haddonfield play host to Woodbury. Again, both those games on Friday. Right up the middle this time, and some nice running room there for Haddonfield. Close to first down yardage. And it will be enough for the first down. I believe that's number 22 mark, Joey Testa, getting the carry, and it is.
A little misdirection that time by Haddonfield. Had some success with that.
So Testa with the carry, first down run. Fresh set of downs here. Testa remains in the backfield. They'll give it to him again. This time he meets a wall of Glassboro defenders. Some of the names we've been mentioning all night, including Maurice Davis Jr. in on the stop. Number 20 in there as well. That's Corey James Jr.
Also Simmons, he's just been unblockable the second half. I mean, he was good in the first half. They just can't do anything with him. There's a look at 55.
And another player down here for Glassboro. Looks like some more cramping here. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back after this. 30-13 Glassboro in front.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Good to see number 52, Dorian Kelsey, back on his feet, walking to the sideline. Again, assuming just a cramping situation. So 2nd and 10 here for Haddonfield. Backus in the gun, one back to his right. He rolls to his right, wants to go up top. Pressure in his face, though, and the sack for Glassboro. Riley Brown DePensa, one of the players in on that. Flag on the play. So we'll have to sort this out. Number of penalties in the first half. Let's listen to this one. So that certainly changes things. Take away the sack, give them the penalty, and that'll be another first down for Haddonfield. So that will move the football to the 44-yard line. Fresh set of downs once again. 2 in the backfield now. Lafakis under center for one of the rare times tonight. Handoff straight up the gut. And a nice downhill run that time from number 22, Testa. check that. It was Brody Leonard on the carry. So Leonard gets another carry, number 25, and he picks up about 6. We'll give him 5 officially. 2nd down and 5, ball right at midfield, right on top of the Rowan Prof logo. It's Leonard once more. Brody Leonard fighting for the first down line. He'll be about a yard short. Another tough run on the inside there, though, from Brody Leonard.
What's interesting on this formation that Haddonfield used, they put number 3, Mike Keenan, in motion, and it almost looked as if, as a player's down now, it almost looked as if they were going to hand it to him, open up that block, and again, a tremendous job by number 2, Dominic Ruffalo, to give him some room.
Yeah, that's Barr once again shaken up, so we'll take another timeout as they tend to him. 5:48. Check that, 5:53 to go in the third. Glassboro on top, 30-13.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort, Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
Mike Franco, Mark Narducci back with you in Glassboro at Rowan University. As you see, Barr being helped to the sideline there. He's really been dealing with some cramps a lot of the night, and he'll once again be sidelined, at least for the moment here. So it'll be 3rd and short as the whistle blows to begin the play clock.
Haddonfield's older strategy. They've really been trying to pump it up the middle. They've got 2 downs to get this first down.
Lefakis operating out of the gun. Motion left to right. It's Flanagan. Fake the handoff. They go over the top, nearly intercepted. That ball intended for Dominic Ruffalo. And just the timing, and really it's the Bulldogs of Glassboro disrupting up front.
There's Kenny Johnson, a good look at him. He'd love to have that one back again. 13 was right on the spot. At 3rd and 1, they had a tough time on that exchange almost.
That's going to be tough. Would have been tough for Ruffalo to pick that up anyway. And now another player is down, this time for Haddonfield.
Oh, that's McKeever. Yeah.
Who's face down on the turf right now. So we'll take another break. We're back after this at Rowan.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort, Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
There's looking McKeever, obviously gingerly walking off the field. And, you know, Mark, you had mentioned he's coming off of an injury last season. Looks hopefully more of a cramp here. We'll see now some teammates come out to help him. But there's been a number of injury stoppages in this game, most of them in the cramping department. And you just hate to see any type of injury right now, but certainly a guy who's fought back to be back on this field.
And what a factor he's been on both sides of the ball. He had that 6-yard touchdown catch, but he's also been strong defensively as well. Now you have a 4th and 1, Mike.
Yeah, got to have it if you're Haddonfield. You're down 30-13, starting to get late here in Glassboro. 5:07 to go in the third. And you need multiple scores here, certainly one to try and get back into this thing.
I just think they're going to power it with Leonard. We'll see.
Leonard in the backfield. Lefakis under center. Right to Leonard. Leonard has it. Tough run right up the middle that time for number 25, Brody Leonard. And they'll move the chains on the far side of the field.
Yeah, they weren't going to mess around or try to do any deception. That was just good blocking. And Leonard's limping off a little, as you see there.
So here comes number 22, Testa. Testa, the junior. Seen him featured a little bit tonight, certainly not as much as Leonard. But this down will be Testa's. Lefakis back under center. Fakes the handoff. He wants to go up top. Deep down the field, the man is not there, and an easy interception. And stepping out of bounds at the very end was Xavier Sabb, but some wires crossed there, Mark, as that's probably going to be the easiest interception Xavier Sabb will ever have this season.
As you said, Mike, the only thing you could say is a miscommunication. Good job by Flanagan on the pass blocking.
Yeah.
I think he was going for that receiver up there and just overthrew it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the receiver sort of broke that route off. You wonder if that's kind of an option, sort of a field play. It's just tough to say from up here, but just an easy pick for Xavier Sabb. He did step out before he could really return it, though, so the ball is marked inside the 10.
How about Xavier Sabb? 3 receptions, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 INTs. You think that's a pretty good night's work, even for one of the best players in the country?
Yeah, if high school fantasy football was a thing, he'd be one of the first picks, no doubt. They're going to pitch to the right here. Taking a shot at the end of that run. Not before a nice gain, though. And that's number 2. Once again, we've checked that 21. That's DeLeese. As Barr continues to deal with that cramping situation, so it might be DeLeese here.
On that play, you saw number 51, Jace Grays, the center, just absolutely obliterate on a block. And watch, there's 51. Look at him. He took him out of your screen that you saw there. Now, he's one of the best offensive linemen in South Jersey. He's going to Monmouth, and I think Monmouth got themselves a really, really good player.
Big hit at the end of the play, too, by Haddonfield's Brody Leonard. So Leonard shaken up a little bit earlier, right back in the game on defense. They're going to go to the air. O'Connell over the middle, checks it down, got a man. DeLeese still on his feet. DeLeese past the 35, close to the 40. Muscling forward out to the 42. Points for the first down, JoJo DeLeese.
We talked about yards after the catch. Look at the protection, too. This offensive line has been unbelievable. He had all day there to throw it.
And Haddonfield just totally lost DeLeese coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, there was not a Haddonfield defender within 5 yards of him.
So DeLeese flanking O'Connell here. Senior quarterback ready for the snap. First we have whistles.
Mike, that was a 31-yard gain. Again, 5th play now, 29 or more yards. This is just a big play, explosive team.
False start there on Glassboro. It'll back him up 5. So 1st and 15 here for the Bulldogs of Glassboro. Takes the handoff. O'Connell flushed out of the pocket. Lobs one downfield, and that one a little bit too wide. Good coverage on the play out there from Jax Marshall. Pass intended for Amari Sabb, but thrown well out of bounds.
Haven't been many times where O'Connell has been forced to roll out, throw on the run.
Yeah, good pressure up the middle right here from that Haddonfield front.
Yeah, what it was Ray 54 got in there, but then he got blocked again. I'll tell you, Glassboro's doing a great job picking up those blockers. Yeah, again, we talk about all the flashiness, and they are as good a big play team as anyone in South Jersey.
Second and 15 now. Clock is stopped after that incompletion. 2:26 remaining here in the third.
I'd watch DeLeese here on the ground.
Good call marker, was it? It was a fake. Haddonfield was watching just about everybody on that play as Ruffalo causes the incompletion there, and it'll be 3rd down. Another good play fake, though, for sure.
Look, everybody's held up there. I'll tell you what, if he didn't get a hand on that, you know, Amari Sabb could be going the distance.
Might still be running. So 3rd and 15. Haddonfield holding for now, and the clock continues to stop after these incompletions. High percentage pass short to Xavier Sabb, and he goes out of bounds. He steps out at the 47-yard line, so it'll be 4th down and 6 for Glassboro. And we'll see what Timmy Breaker decides to do here.
Good job by Jax Marshall that time, just pinning him to the sideline and just not letting him get away.
Looks like Glassboro will punt as they get the right bodies on the field here.
It's always, I'm not saying they're going to do it here, but it's always dangerous when your punter is also your quarterback.
Yeah.
Dangerous for the opponent, that is.
Makes the special teams coordinator on the other side a little bit nervous, and this one unable to get away, but he's going to run for it. Jack O'Connell cuts it back. He's got the 1st down and more. Goes through a defender at the 40. Mark, I don't know if that was by design or by necessity, but it works out for Glassboro.
I don't think it was by design. I think it was because of the rush and everything like that.
Take another look as O'Connell steps up to punt this one, and too much pressure in his face, so he pulls it down. Still a lot of work to do from there, though. He's got about 15 yards to get the 1st down, but plenty of grass. Picks up one key block or near block there from his teammate Johnson, and then finishes the run with his shoulder down.
17-yard gain for the 1st down, and here come the Glassboro Bulldogs.
Delano unhappy with something on that play. He's giving the officials an earful. 1:30 remaining here in the third. DeLeese wrapped up in the backfield that time, and a tackle from number 22, Testa. Testa wraps him up with the tackle for loss.
Wait, Testa in this second half has come on strong on both sides of the ball.
They'll say DeLeese got back to the line of scrimmage, so still a good tackle, not necessarily a tackle for a loss. It'll be 2nd and 10. Breaker sends in the play his quarterback, Jack O'Connell. Glassboro a legitimate threat, certainly the favorite to capture that state Group 1 title again, but a long road between August and December. And now Glassboro is forced to take another timeout with the play clock winding down. So with 42 seconds remaining in the third, timeout Glassboro. We'll be back after this.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Back here at Rowan, Glassboro leads Haddonfield 30-13. As this was a 22-13 game at the break, only touchdown in the third quarter so far. That 39-yard touchdown pass from O'Connell to Xavier Sabb, but Glassboro marching once again, Mark.
You know, it's interesting. This is obviously going to be the best team Haddonfield faces in the regular season, but this also may be the best team Glassboro faces in the regular season as well.
That's what makes this event so intriguing, the battle at the beach. These matchups you just really never used to get. O'Connell wants to go up top. He's got a man over the middle. That's Parker. Parker finally wrangled down inside the 20. Another big pass play, for Glassboro, that time to Mekhi Parker, the 6'4 sophomore.
Watch how he had to layer this throw over number 2, Dominic Ruffalo. That's a perfectly thrown ball there, and not an easy throw.
First down from the 18. Could be the final play of the quarter here. If Glassboro even wants to run it, they could elect to wait, and I think that's what they'll do. And it is. So the Bulldogs of Glassboro content to let the clock run out in the third quarter. They'll begin the fourth in the red zone in a comfortable lead, leading 30-13.
Pride, passion, and persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
Highway Tire and Auto Service stocks a wide selection of tires for your vehicle. Their passenger tire inventory includes favorite brands like Goodyear, Kelly, and Dunlop. But there's more. Highway Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated for over 60 years, also offers specials on oil changes, alignment, and brake service. Highway Tire and Auto Service, 1661 Route 38 in Mount Holly. Phone them at 609-267-5300 or visit them online at highwaytires.com.
Time for the final quarter of this 5th annual Battle at the Beach. Mike Frankel and Mark Narducci with you here tonight on a beautiful night in Glassboro. It's been a beautiful night for the Glassboro Bulldogs so far, leading 30-13 and driving for what could be that put-away touchdown of this game. It'll be first down, 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Jack O'Connell in the gun. He'll hand it off. A little bit of room in there, not a whole lot. Pile still moving, though. DeLeese is still on his feet in there. No whistle yet. Now we get one. And a flag comes in. I certainly didn't hear a whistle. He was still moving that pile. And we'll try to sort out what the laundry's for here. So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Glassboro. Didn't really catch what that was for in real time. Tough run from DeLeese, as it took basically the entire Haddonfield team to stop his forward progress.
I was just ready to say, Glassboro's done a pretty good job with the penalties, but that was now the 4th for 40 yards.
Yeah, that's a big one too, a 15-yard variety. There's been, we've had our share of penalties, certainly in the first half, both teams. And it's hasn't been necessarily a clean game, but like we talked about, I mean, you get that sometimes with week 0. Heck, you get that toward the end of the season, but even more at the beginning of the year as kids are still kind of figuring things out there. So 2nd and 20. And now Glassboro just outside the red zone. O'Connell, the draw, DeLeese wiggles free, right side, cuts it back, DeLeese inside the 5, DeLeese dragging a defender, and he's finally brought down inside the 3. That's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen that draw play, and really, except for maybe one tonight, as we take another look, it's worked almost every time.
Watch the tackle, too. Look how strong DeLeese is. 60, DeReyes had a shot at him. Look at that hold, too. It's the delay that does it, but he just shrugged him off, too. Now, that shows you his strength because, you know, DeReyes weighs 225, and he shrugged him off as if it was nothing.
So DeLeese in the backfield behind Simmons. Tries to go around the left side, and he is in for the touchdown. So the first touchdown of the night for number 21, Joe DeLeese. And Glassboro all but puts this one away now, leading 36-13. That full house backfield to the right. DeLeese goes left, and the lane is there behind those big bodies in front of him.
Well, there you saw 55 again, Simmons. He lined up in the backfield. They put him in motion, and he just crushed people.
So a touchdown there with the extra point pending.
Sal Esco on for the extra point.
O'Connell ends up having to try to toss this one in the end zone, just throws it to some open space. Kicking game's been a little bit of an adventure for Glassboro tonight. Shouldn't matter too much in the long run as the Bulldogs from across the street lead it 36-13. We'll take a break. Be right back after this.
Looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle? Miller Ford has a great selection to complement any lifestyle or budget. Plus, not just any car can be certified pre-owned Ford. Only the best cared for vehicles are chosen and then backed with Ford factory coverage, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a clean Carfax report, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Find an affordable, reliable, and certified Miller Ford today. Miller makes it better. Route 38 Mount Holly and 24/7 at millerford.com.
Well, Mike, as we return here, as you see, a tough snap there, and O'Connell making the most of a tough situation and just throws it. It was a good play by Haddonfield's Hutch Ryan, 24. You saw him not letting him get to the outside containing. From Glassboro's perspective, the positive thing is they're going to get plenty of chance to work on their conversions this year.
Yep, no doubt about it. You'd expect the touchdowns to come in bunches. They have tonight. 36 points on the board and counting. Still nearly a full quarter to play here at Rowan. End over end kick, fielded the 22. And some room to run. Nice return there. Once again, that's Leonard as he scampers all the way out to the 40-yard line. And another opportunity here for Haddonfield. 23-point game.
Hey, Mike, do you know this is the first time in 80 years these two teams have played? That's from my South Jersey historian friend, Chuck Langerman, who knows South Jersey as well as anybody. 80 years was the last, and even I wasn't around to cover that one.
I was going to say it predates me, but if Chuck says that's true, then it's absolutely true because he's the man, certainly with all things stats. And, you know, these towns are relatively close, but you're right. I mean, they just have not played each other. Haddonfield certainly really sticks to its schedule, even in this new era of the West Jersey Football League with the opportunity to schedule these types of games. You don't see Haddonfield doing this very often, so kudos to them for challenging themselves tonight, and really for Glassboro as well, because their schedule will be mainly Group 1 teams, and they level up tonight and play a really, proven and proud Group 2 team. Timeout taken here by Haddonfield. We'll keep it here. But yeah, it's an interesting matchup. And look, it's what this event is all about. It tries to give matchups that you wouldn't see during the regular season, right?
No question about it. By the way, in that 1945 game, it was a 13-13 draw. And Haddonfield entered the game 6-5-1 in the series, and it looks like now it's going to even up. But one more nugget from Chuck Langerman. Last year Haddonfield scored 508 points, 14th highest in South Jersey history. I think they could surpass it this year. I wouldn't bet against it.
Yeah, I got a chance to see him in person at the end of the year. I think you and I were talking sort of off broadcast, and got a chance to cover him in that state semifinal, and then I was up at MetLife for the state final. And obviously, I'd seen the social media clips and, read the game stories, but seeing this team in person is a whole different animal.
Yeah, they only won that state final over Cedar Grove by 42 points.
They were down in that game. So there was some drama in that game, as there's a toss to the left side and Glassboro front up to the challenge again. That was it was kind of a back and forth game early on, but certainly Glassboro put his foot on the gas, and the rest was history.
How about Kenny Smith that game? What is it, 400 yards or?
He was right there.
And he's now at Monmouth.
Yeah, Kenny Smith, standout career at Hamilton before spending his senior season at Glassboro. He got a touch in Monmouth's game over the weekend as well. Yeah, just phenomenal. As that ball is tipped, nearly brought in, almost an incredible play there.
Well, the reason it was DeLeese got in the way and got in the vision that time. So there you see 21.
Another injured player down, another cramping situation here. Testa was almost able to bring this one in. We'll take a look here.
Yeah, I think actually DeLeese was the one that distracted him. There you see 21. He may have even tipped it.
Testa once, twice, maybe three times on the ground. You see how frustrated he is.
Look at DeLeese. He wanted it.
So you take a look there at number 60 for Haddonfield. That's Henry DeReyes, senior lineman, 5'11", 225 pounds. Good to see him quickly up to his feet.
I'll tell you, the impressive thing about this Glassboro team is, I mean, we love their big play ability, but just how tough they are and how they converge to the ball, and they just do everything well.
Yeah, Glassboro's schedule this season, obviously against Haddonfield tonight. We talked about the Haddon Heights game. Rest of the month, they get Pennsgrove, Salem, Woodbury. October, they'll face Deptford, Cinnaminson, Shalleck, Woodstown. So, yeah, I mean, you think about those schools. Is this their toughest test of the regular season? And what are they doing during this test tonight? Here's Lefakis trying to escape the pressure, and there's just no escaping this pressure tonight. Another sack for Glassboro. A number of players in on that, including number 52, Dorian Kelsey. Simmons in there as well. 4 always around the football. That's Davis. It's been that kind of night for Glassboro, that kind of night for Haddonfield. So that'll bring on the punting unit here for the Haddonfield Bulldogs. Flanagan in punt formation.
Single back in punt formation, Xavier Sabb. Oh, man. This guy would give any defensive coordinator nightmares. You know, I saw him as a freshman, Mike, and thought he was one of the best players in South Jersey then.
Kind of takes a neutral bounce right at the 40. It'll be down at the 38-yard line. And now a scuffle on the far side of the field. And a player down.
Yeah, you don't want to see the scuffling. This game's in hand. You don't want to.
So everything on that play, if you're playing bingo at home.
And remember, there are rules. You can only have a certain number of people that can get thrown out of a game. And if you have more than that, you're out of the playoffs. So you have to keep your head.
You're right. I don't know that anything escalated to that point, but there's certainly something extracurricular going on the far side of the field. You see the flag there. Yeah. There was a Glassboro player over there. And also there's a player down behind this play here. Again, it looks like a cramp.
By the way, Mike, you talked about Glassboro meeting Haddon Heights. Haddon Heights is obviously Haddonfield's longtime Thanksgiving rival, I believe back to 1902. And last year on Thanksgiving was one of the best games around. Haddonfield beat them with a late kick by Dan Keenan, 23-20.
They have a hold on the 17. Now be enforced in the end of the run. During the run. Dead ball. Personal foul. And the 17 Glassboro. That also will be forced in the end of the run. First down. Glassboro. 5 more yards for it.
All right, so that'll back up Glassboro significantly, as you heard. Yeah, Montre Wright, the new coach at Haddon Heights, who spent some successful seasons at Salem. And, you talk to Frank Delano, and a game like this is worth talking about. The Thanksgiving tradition, is it going away? Is it staying? It's mostly going away, but, in Haddonfield and Haddon Heights, and certainly with Delano and this coaching staff, they love that tradition. They love what it brings to the community. And you mentioned it, some really good games between those two teams. So certainly in communities like that, they're going to fight to keep that rivalry going as long as they can.
Yeah, Haddon Heights probably rebuilding this year, but they have a really good senior quarterback in Kevin Clark, who actually just committed to Kutztown to play baseball. So
all right, so after 30-ish yards of penalty, Glassboro will begin inside its own 15-yard line. Another whistle. Should have packed our sleeping bags for this one, Mark. We might just be spending the night in this press box.
Well, there are a lot of penalties now in Glassboro. This is going to look a little deceiving, because when the game was competitive, Glassboro was doing a pretty good job.
Still 8:46 to go, and the crowd has thinned out considerably. It was a nice crowd on hand. Sometimes deceiving here too, because it's such a big venue, but great crowd on hand for this one. Run to the left side, minimal gain here for Glassboro. And just as I was about to say the clock will run, we have a player shaken up here for Haddonfield. One of the linemen down up front for Haddonfield. So they'll tend to him. Again, cramping situation. Chance to remind you that if you've got golf on the brain, there's no better time to golf than now, and there's no better membership option out there than the Ron Jaworski Golf Eagle Pass membership. Go to ronjaworskigolf.com, learn how you can belong to 7 courses for the price of 1. That's right, 7 courses for the price of 1. This golf membership is an amazing value, great variety that allows playing privileges to individual, family, and corporate memberships at all of Jaworski's award-winning golf courses. Tonight's game also brought to you by the Ocean City Fall Block Party. More than 400 crafters, food vendors, and entertainers will line a mile of downtown Asbury Avenue between 5th Street and 14th Street. On October 11th, the Ocean City Fall Block Party features entertainers and bands at various spots along the avenue between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. The Ocean City Fall Block Party, October 11th, starting at 9 a.m. Remember, Ocean City twice as nice in the fall. So shaken up there for Haddonfield, number 56, Billy Mumbauer. And he's able to get up and walk off under his own power. You never want to speculate. A number of these injuries tonight, cramps, obviously. We saw what certainly looked like a little bit more of a serious injury for a Glassboro player in that first half, but good to see a lot of these guys just try to work out the cramps and try to get back into action. All right, 8:27, clock is running, 2nd and long. Glassboro backed up here. They're going to pass. Over the middle, right on the money that time to Parker. And Parker is out close to and actually across the 40-yard line.
You know, Parker, He's 6'4" and 189, and Mike, he would be a #1 receiver on several teams in South Jersey.
Yeah, just an embarrassment of talent in the skill positions for Glassboro.
That's another layered throw, though, by O'Connell. You know, putting it over the linebackers, really having some great accuracy.
So many weapons on the outside, obviously. Say that in a positive way, just so many choices to make. And players slipped there with a few miscues on the outside for Glassboro. That'll stop the clock. If you watch Glassboro last year, this is what they do, though. I mean, a lot of teams, you're up by this margin, you go to the run game, but, you know, they continue to spread it out, spread the touches around. Not so much throwing out the score, but this is just how they operate on offense. They run that spread. They'll mix in the ground game as we've seen tonight, but this is what they do. Clock is stopped, 7:38. O'Connell still in the game here, standing at his own 35-yard line. Screen pass set up to Amari Saab. A little bit of room there before he's tackled at the 45-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down for Glassboro.
You know, Haddonfield plays in a very tough division, the West Jersey Football League Continental. Remember, last year they lost 3 times in the division to Willingboro, Seneca, and the champion Paul VI, and all 3 games were by a touchdown or less. So the Bulldogs are very competitive, and they expect to be again this year, although I think it's going to be difficult to wrestle that title away from the Eagles of Paul VI.
Paul VI, the big win to open the season this weekend as well.
Yeah, Paul VI has an easy one this week. They have to face St. Augustine.
St. Augustine going out to Ohio.
How about that win?
Picking up a win.
Yeah.
In fact, there's all kinds of Jersey teams on the move. Don Bosco went down to Texas and played at one of those mega stadiums down there against Melissa, Texas, and won a thrilling game. St. Augustine went out to the Midwest to Ohio and came away with a victory. You saw Mainland and Atlantic City play each other, but all the way down in Delaware, which is interesting at a showcase event down there. Some trickery here. The pass from Parker. He's got a man wide open, Xavier Saab. There is a flag down behind the play. So that'll draw some boos from the home crowd, or at least the Glassboro crowd. Another flag now dropped. If there was an over-under flag number tonight, Mark, and you took the over, you're a happy man tonight. So they're going to ding him for the illegal forward pass. Interesting, Mark, that Glassboro would use that play there. I mean, certainly.
I agree, Mike.
But here's the thing: do they need it? We'll take another look. Do they? I mean, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but will they even need that play, or is this?
Well, I guess the thinking is you want to work on it in case you do it again.
Right.
But the other thing is you're also putting it on tape for your opponents to see.
O'Connell has to hand that ball off. Was the issue there? That little tiny little forward pass is a pass. So if that ball is just handed off on the sweep, but then you had the holding too. This punt kind of goes nowhere. Goes out at the 45. Yeah, I mean, look, game like this, it's a showcase event. A lot of different ways to tackle an end of the game situation like this, no pun intended, but different coaching staffs operate different ways. What's right, what's wrong? Well, I'll tell you what's right is that Glassboro is a tremendous team right now. And certainly looking every bit of one of the top-ranked teams in the state here on opening weekend.
Well, when we look back on it, and Haddonfield got within 16-13, and then they kicked it off, and Amari Saab returned it 56 yards. There's only a minute to go. They got a 0 gain, and then Amari's big touchdown.
Approaching the 6-minute mark here, this fourth quarter. 36-13 our score. Mark, too, this is certainly a Haddonfield team that you'd expect is going to pile up some wins this year. I mean, a lot of talent on the field right now. Battled for a half. Really, you know, that score to make it, what was it, 16-13 with a minute to go in the first half. This was a 3-point game.
Yep.
Maybe getting to halftime like that, but easier said than done against Glassboro. As we've chronicled, you get the big return, then you get the big splash play. This pass, his arm was hit on the way, and it's intercepted by Corey James Jr. Good pressure up front as they get to Lafakis. Flag on the play again, though.
Well, Maurice Davis Jr., number 4, who has been living in Haddonfield's backfield, he got the pressure on that play as we looks like Keenan's down. And it may have been Maurice with the roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, we'll take another look. Certainly affected the throw. I'm not sure if he kind of lingered with the contact after that.
Watch 4, he comes in. Nobody touched him. Well, that doesn't look like, does it?
Not to me, but.
Well, it couldn't be on anybody else. He's the only one that touched the passer.
Yeah, certainly didn't throw him to the ground or anything like that. Nice job affecting the play. And again, another cramping situation as a player is down.
I'll tell you what, Maurice Davis Jr. has really impressed tonight. You know, some of the guys you don't hear as much about, Junior Serrano with the pass rush. They may not have gotten as many sacks tonight, but they have put on a ton of pressure, and Lafakis has kind of been running for his life.
Yeah, we ran down some of the other opponents on Glassboro's schedule this year, and you know, a lot of those coaches are watching our broadcast tonight, trying to already scheme up how they're going to stop this front 4, plus the backers and beyond for the Bulldogs of Glassboro. Getting late here at Rowan University. It's been a great couple of days here, though, and obviously a great opening day of this event over in Ocean City. There's whispers that this entire Battle at the Beach will return to Ocean City all 3 days next year. Again, nothing official yet, but just the kind of the way the schedule falls right now has meant that some of these games have had to shift to other locations.
Yeah, because Ocean City has a commitment with the Philadelphia Catholic League to host games. Mike, I'll tell you, Haddonfield will have to lick its wounds early. They take on Woodbury next week, and then after that, it's a back-to-back with Willingboro and Seneca. And you know, we talked about Paul Six being the favorite in that division, but Seneca's not going away either.
No, Seneca is a team that has been to some sectional finals in the last few years. Lost to Mainland last year, lost to Camden a couple of years before that. I mean, they're making inroads. You know, you think about that district and how successful Shawnee has been in Cherokee and Lenape, and Seneca seems to sometimes be on the back burner, but that program has really taken some steps forward in recent years. Player up on his feet here. That's number 3, Keenan, who's been very active on both sides of the football tonight.
You know, it's interesting. Haddonfield is a Group 2 school and really playing up in its division. Now, there's also Gloucester as well, and Pleasantville, but also you have a Group 3 in Seneca, Paul Six, which is a Group 4 size school. That's a tough division, the Continental. And people have to remember, Mike, the West Jersey Football League every 2 years changes divisions, and it'll be after this season. And the reason they do that is maybe if some teams aren't competitive, they'll move them down to a division that might be more competitive. If some teams are competitive, they move them up.
Yeah, the scheduling for the West Jersey has certainly changed a bit in recent years. I was talking to some writers and media members down on the field during the previous game here as the carry goes to Leonard. And look, everyone has different opinions. Sometimes the 2-year cycle works for a team. Other times, a team has a good group of juniors, seniors, and then that team gets moved to a tougher division. That group graduates, so it doesn't always work that way. But I will say that I think the consensus is the way the West Jersey Football League has kind of grouped teams in general has worked. Certainly for some of the smaller schools, not smaller schools like the ones we see here tonight, but, the ones that, the Wildwoods of the world, the Shallecks of the world, teams like that certainly have been able to play a more competitive schedule. And the better, bigger schools have been able to challenge themselves. You look at a team like Millville, which has had some great years over the last couple of seasons. They play a tough schedule. The St. Augustines, the RVs, the Cherokees, they play a tough schedule, and they're challenging themselves week in and week out.
Of course, Shalleck will tell you, hey, don't group us with them. Remember, that's a Shalleck team in the regular season last year. They only lost 20-10 to Glassboro.
Yeah, no doubt. And a coaching change there is Mike Wilson is now at Clearview. Just in general, talking about some of the smaller schools.
No, I'm just saying. One other footnote. Those two teams met again in the playoffs. It was 40-9.
Yeah, just imagine just that one speed bump, that one team you got to get by, but it's a pretty big speed bump in the Glassboro Bulldogs. As the clock is now stopped with 4:03 to go.
There's always that age-old question, can a Group 1 team compete with a Group 4, Group 5 team? I think this Glassboro team can. I mean, the one problem is going to be depth if you're playing those big Group 5 schools every week and everything, but I think they can compete with any of those teams.
Pass out into the flat here. And a nice catch and run from Leonard. It's tough, even, guys like us that have, and you've been doing this a little bit longer than I have, but it's tough to gauge sometimes how good teams are based on the schedule, how good players are. But South Jersey Group 1 schools, forget the team aspect, but individually, a guy like Jonathan Taylor at Salem, now one of the best backs in the NFL. A guy like Bayshul Tootin at Paulsboro, who's going to be featured for the Jaguars this year. I mean, those are guys who played during the day on Saturdays with schools with no lights, small schools. And it's tough to get a read sometimes on how good they are, but there is a ton of talent with some of the smaller schools in South Jersey, and now you're seeing it here with Glassboro.
By the way, Mike, to add to that, you mentioned Paulsboro. Let's give our congratulations out to Glenn Howard, who this Saturday is the field at Paulsboro is going to be named after him. What a great coach he was.
Yeah, just a class guy. Just always did it the right way.
Yeah, and the other thing people forget, unless they're as old as I am, was what a great player he was. A great linebacker, and then ended up having a fine career at Minnesota, and then played for the USFL. Philadelphia Baltimore Stars. So Glenn Howard, as you said, one of the real class people in South Jersey, and just a tremendous honor.
Well deserved for sure. Yeah. That should be a special ceremony on this next upcoming weekend. That short pass as number 22, that's Testa, cut down for a minimal gain there. Haddonfield trying for a consolation prize here, trying to maybe punch it in one more time. They still have some time to work with, but it's now 3rd and long.
Of course, Paulsboro used to be in the old Colonial Conference in football before the West Jersey came, and obviously was in the smaller division, but would often play Haddonfield. And of course, their current coach is Kevin Harvey, and there are a lot of people, Mike, that as a high school player, think that Kevin Harvey may have been the best player South Jersey's seen.
Yeah, you had that discussion about who was the best, and his name is right at the top. Now leading his alma mater. Rolling to his right and taking a shot right at the end and making the catch but out of bounds. A lot to break down on that play. At the end, really, it was 0. It was Parker that made the defensive play as Lafakis did well to get that pass off. He took a shot.
Yeah, I hope
Catch
he's
was
all
made
right.
out. Yeah.
He's holding his. He was holding his.
Take
Here we
another
go
look here.
again.
Yeah. Talk us through it. Lafakis,
Well,
he's been under pressure all night long.
First thing I thought of was, I wonder if this is going to be a horse collar. He was pulled by the jersey there. I don't think there was anything there, and then ball tipped and go out. But by the way, Maurice Davis Jr. at 6'5" and 210. As I said, he's been living in the Haddonfield backfield. You think some recruiters are going to look at his tape and be a little impressed here today?
I think so. Look, I mean, when a program gets a couple of these guys and they start getting eyeballs on them, some other guys get opportunities. You're seeing it happen at You're seeing it happen at Winslow, right? I mean, you get guys now going to that school, and Winslow for a long time, didn't really garner many headlines in South Jersey football, if we're being completely honest. And now, success breeds success, and some guys want to play there to get looks. And you're seeing that with a school right now with Glassboro as well. Timeout taken on the field here as Haddonfield is facing a 4th and 12. And probably its last chance to get some more points out of this one. Fun weekend for sure. A couple of lopsided games today. I don't know if I'd put this one in that category. It was a pretty good first half, and then Glassboro really stepped on the gas in the second half. But
well, again, we don't vote on the MVP. They have game MVPs for both teams, but Xavier Sabb with 4 receptions for 110 yards, a couple scores, 2 interceptions. I don't think this is going to be a tough choice.
It's got to be him, right? Yeah, this is a tournament committee that does a nice job. They get some hardware, they get some trophies for both teams, right? So someone on Haddonfield will get one too. And, something for the kids to shoot for down there. And I'll tell you what else, Mark, playing at Rowan, obviously a lot of our viewers remember when the South Jersey Championship games spent some time here, and you could come here with a ticket and watch 3 games back to back to back. And obviously the landscape has changed a little bit, but those were some special times too. And this being in this arena, in this field, in this stadium for a big time game kind of brings back those memories as well. So last chance maybe here for Haddonfield, 4th and long. Floating to the end zone, and that is a touchdown. He's got a man out there, that's number 8, Jax Marshall. And so Marshall, the late touchdown off the nice touch pass from Lafakis. And a possible consolation prize. We'll take another look here. Lafakis has really, despite being under duress most of the night, he's shown some nice touch when he has some time.
And this is hard for a right-hander. Look, he's throwing against his body. A right-hander rolling out to his left. That's an excellent throw.
So Jax Marshall, his first touchdown of the night. Lafakis, his second touchdown pass. And it looks like Haddonfield will go for 2. Why not? Or will they? They'll kick it. This would make it a 2-score game, so mathematically, this would keep them alive for the moment. Kick is up, and the kick is good. All right, so we'll take a quick timeout. 36-20. Glassboro ready to receive or potentially recover an onside kick. We're back after this.
It is known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Phone 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn, since 1940.
Whoever you are, whatever you like, there's a place where memories become traditions. So this summer, come on down and enjoy all that's fun at the shore. Plan today and book your vacation in America's greatest family resort. Ocean City, New Jersey. We're less than a tank of gas away.
1:35 remaining here at Rowan. Some Queen blaring on the stadium speakers here. Fans that are left getting into it. And Haddonfield potentially lining up for an onside kick here.
And they're having Dan Keenan take this. He has not been taking the kickoff, so yeah.
Look, never know. Crazier things have happened. That extra point brings you within 16. You recover this, things start to get a little bit interesting. I will say this too, Mark. I mean, Haddonfield, I've seen them play a number of times over the last 15 or so years. I can't remember them ever being blown out. Even if they are the undermanned team, they seem to always find a way to just kind of hang around and be in games. So they do kick this one away. Saab has it. Amari across the 50 and then goes out. So an interesting situation there.
Taken out by the kicker, Dan Keenan, but he's really a defensive player.
Not your average kicker.
Yeah.
Haddonfield just always seems to battle, right? Even in games where maybe they're outmanned a little bit. And this is one more penalty against Glassboro. This game was supposed to start at 6:15. Started closer to, 7:05? It will end after 10 o'clock. All right, so potentially the final drive of the game here. And we'll see if Glassboro just runs it a couple of times here. They're not necessarily in victory formation, even though Haddonfield only has one timeout. They will hand it off. And looking for running room around that right side, that's number 8, Akeem Teresa Jr. He's a 5'9" sophomore, 160 pounds, so a chance for a touch here. Glassboro putting the finishing touches on an impressive Week 0 win here at the Battle at the Beach. Picking up right where they left off last season. And that means trouble for the rest of the Group 1 teams in the state.
Really impressed by O'Connell's poise. Remember last year he did throw 18 touchdown passes for this team.
You can tell he's taken a big step forward here.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a competent quarterback last year, as this one might go the distance. On the run here, still going, is Teresa Jr. all the way down inside the 30. But you can tell his balls just look, they're coming out of his hand there, the way he's throwing it around. It just looks different this year. He's got more zip on it. He's calmer, more poised back there. Take another look here at Teresa Jr. And he went out, so the clock is stopped with 22 seconds remaining.
I think it's time to take a knee here.
I don't know that Glassboro is going to do that, Mark.
By the way, Butler with a crunching block on that play before.
Yeah, they'll give it to Teresa Jr. one more time. This time he's wrestled down in the backfield. And I think that might be it, but you just never know.
Yeah, P.J. Crozier-Thompson getting in and making a nice play there.
And I think Glassboro is content at this point. As the final seconds tick off of the clock, Glassboro with a 36-20 victory here to begin the season. Quick recap of the scoring here. Xavier Saab with a big night. He had that big 60-yard touchdown catch in the first quarter from O'Connell. Barr with a touchdown run. We had Amari Saab with a run in there in the second quarter. Xavier Saab with another touchdown catch from O'Connell. DeLeese the touchdown run for Haddonfield in the loss. Touchdowns from McKeever, Keenan, and Marshall. A couple touchdown tosses from Lafakis. Pretty impressive win. Your closing thoughts here, Mark, for both of these teams as we move forward.
Well, Glassboro's everything is advertised as we thought. I still think, as you said, Haddonfield's going to not only win some games, I think they'll be back in the Group 2 playoffs this year as well. But this is a Glassboro team that just kills your spirit, because they can beat you in so many ways. They can beat you with their strength on the line. I thought their quickness on defense was really impressive. And, of course, what are you going to say about the Sabs?
Thanks for joining us here tonight. Now for our entire crew, our director, Sean Kelly, making us look good up here, and everyone else on the crew, Glenn Eversley, Dave Roberts, and Kevin Conley. And for Mark Narducci, I'm Mike Frankel saying so long from Rowan University. Glassboro opens the season with a 36-20 victory over Haddonfield.